One. You must have heard of NOTAP. Yeah, and I can see that you are in the minority. But this is an institution. It stands for, it's not no water. That is the easiest way to remember NOTAP. It is very Nigerian, but it is for National Office for Technology Acquisition and Promotion. It was established in 1979 as the National Office for Industrial Property, located here in Lagos then. But in 1983, we transformed into NOTAP because we have added mandates to ensure that Nigeria also becomes relevant. And what we do, the key component of our work by law, is that we register all contracts and agreements. I have discussed with you, probably some of you know, in all sectors, whether it's in manufacturing or financial sector using ICT, or communication sector using both hardware and software, or the food industry, or whatever. All the agreements entered into by Nigerian entrepreneurs, to transfer technology from foreign countries. We will see later why. Why are you entering into agreements? Why are you transferring technology from other countries? And we'll try to, but that's our job. And this registration process, I normally like the foreign direct investment because that is what dominates Nigerian industry. And the whole mechanism of the transfer is that it is a process of transferring intellectual property. People have perfected their technology, it is useful, you want to use it to get the benefits out of it, you must go out and bargain with them. Literally, it's like buying shoes. Alright? And normally the way we relate with industries are our major partners. Informally, it is only when industry hits central bank. And the way it works is that you go to England, Germany, Japan, or India, and you like Finacle because your banks, you don't have Finacle. Then we go to Infosys and say, let us use this. When you come back, the infrastructure on which Finacle rides is Oracle. And then Oracle is American. You might get it from Dubai or America itself, or probably from Kenya. And then you are shaking yourself that you have industry. Now, you must convince them that you want to use this. And you will pay, because it's an asset. The payment is not in Naira. It's in euro, dollar, or... So the only way, before maybe you can put money and you are mopping dollars and euro from the bureau de change until you pile it up and you can do whatever you like. Gone are the days, because once you're caught with $100,000 in your suitcase at Heathrow, they start asking you, where did you get this money? What is it for? Because they think you're a terrorist. You're going to go and buy bombs and kill you. And therefore the easiest way, or the formal way now, is you have to go to the central bank. Needs. I have Naira, I have to pay German, can I buy dollars from your foreign reserve? Because this is the agreement. So the central bank start asking you, do you have this, do you have this? One of the things that they will ask you is that, do you have a notice? If you don't have a notice certificate, that process will not go through. So wrongfully, we only get industry coming to us when they hit the central bank. And the central bank says, where is your NOTAP certificate? And you start going, oh my, what is NOTAP? Who are these people? And then a lot of things come into play. But, you know, the process is that you will submit this agreement, we will look at it, and they will give you a piece of paper. It's a certificate. Only the Director General can sign that certificate. There is no second signer and third signer like you have in the banks. And because that is the case, for now, I am the only one. While I'm here, no certificates are going out from NOTAP. So now the process is that we have pre-submission level. So you need to come to us. We have been existing for 30 years. And the reason why we were established 30 years ago was because when we discovered oil, we were very arrogant. We wanted roads, we wanted banks, we wanted industry, we wanted everything that modern economies want, but we didn't have technology. So it was run out, bring people to come and do it for us, and we start enjoying. This traffic of technology had some unfairness in it too. Some people will tell you that if you take our technology, you must buy raw material from us, whether you have it or not, and then you sign. Okay. Some people say, because Lagos is dangerous at that time, you have to pay twice what Brazil pays. You say, okay. And then, no, we don't respect your tax laws. You help if you want, okay. If you don't want, you say, okay. This is what we check. If the agreement is not fair to this country, if it does not respect this country, it will not be registered. So you need to come to us first. Pray before you enter the negotiations to ask her, what do I need to say? How do I negotiate? How do I bargain so that when I come to you, I don't have problems? This industry doesn't do. Some of you or your bosses, you sign agreements at a dinner table. Somebody's come to you and say, we have got brilliant software that can actually troubleshoot emails, spams, and so on and so on. Really? We want it. You just short a paper and you sign, and then you come. But NOTAP is waiting for you. Because you didn't think of Nigeria. So there are three things. And then the pre-registration, for example, manufacturing companies, so we are not just looking at banks, we have to visit you to see that you exist, to see that you actually have technical intentions. There is a site, there are equipment, there are expertise, and so on and so forth. And we must also confirm your technology transfer policies. Are you just in Nigeria to operate and make money, or your process will one day get Nigeria to also mature to provide these services?
So how well is this last policy being used?
No problem. We will go when we finish. Just move your question so that we can answer. Okay? So, I can tell you, there are a lot of people, because of the regime now, they make a lot of money in oil and gas or in all other things, and they have heaps of naira like that. And they say, how do I take it out? If I buy below the chain, they will catch me at the airport. I have to start finding whether Tony has a huge account in London. Do you want naira? And you will not get too many people like that. There's somebody, a lawyer, a smart lawyer in Nigeria who will say, hey, let's go and sign a technology transfer agreement with XYZ in London, and we will take all the money out, no problem at all. Then you say, hey, that's fantastic, sorry about this. Okay? So fantastic. So the lawyer works, you give the lawyer a cut and then give you fantastic package, and then you come, you go around and you give NOTAP. When we come here, we will know. I have got companies that are importing products into Nigeria to sell, but claim that they are manufactured. If you are importing your products, your cell phones, your Davo toothpaste, or your whatever, if it is not manufactured in Nigeria or packaged in Nigeria, there is no value addition in Nigeria, you will not benefit from the technology transfer agreement transactions. Because it's just said, you have your own shares, you can transfer your money. You are paying, your employees are international, they can do personal remittance, but you will not. So I went, and then there is no factory, and then the explanation. There's a building, and then there was some few Lagos people wearing overalls with screwdrivers and claiming that they say, we're doing our turnaround maintenance. I said, I'm a professional engineer. I've been more than 20 years service in industry. This is not a factory. However, I'm not here to argue with you. When you get your factory running and you're producing the product, call me. I will come and have a look, then I will look at your agreement. And so many of them do. So there are things that before the registration. And then when we are agreed to submit, we do all the documentation, there are some fees, they are not really that many. And then the assessment, it is true, and the submission is 50,000 and so on. The biggest lump that you pay to NOTAP as a ratio, and it's not a percentage, it's like if you're transferring from billion naira, and I can tell you, there are companies, one consultancy costing 27 billion naira in Nigeria. One transaction to one company. And therefore you have to pay, I don't know, whether it's 2 million or so, it's nothing. We're trying to upgrade that too, so that we get the same. You are wrong. So when you submit then we do the assessment. But literally, in simple English, the assessment is to ensure that this agreement is fair to the third country. And we do that for levels. Legal perspective, check your agreement. I have a large pool of highly experienced lawyers, IPF lawyers, and they check. Are you paying taxes? Are you paying all the clauses must favor Nigeria? If not, you will have problems. Financial perspective. If the money is too much, we have access to literally all the databases of technology transactions in the world. That's why my internet connectivity in my office is broadbanded and is smooth. All my guys can actually use it. We quickly do it and check it. If you're overcharging Nigeria, we'll slash it. If you don't want, you can go and jump into anywhere you like. That's your problem. That's government policy. Government is strong sometimes. So, technical perspective, we check that. You cannot just continue making us consume technology. We have to also learn. You must be teaching Nigerians who are teachable. So don't go and bring a technician and you put in somebody 40 years experience and he says, see, we are teaching. No, we know. We will change that. Also, technology is a result of very vigorous research and development. If you're spending $100 billion in your home country evolving technology, you must also spend some in Nigeria. Otherwise, the universities that you're talking about, there's no way they can join. Every country does that. So we check that. And then other perspectives, we check your corporate social responsibility. I don't like that word though, I told you many times. Corporate social, you are all corporate social responsibility, because corporate social responsibility is like you're guilty. You're making so much money. Let me return some to the immediate environment. You're drilling all of it. You're drilling boreholes, irrespective of whether you're a bank, or you're constructing a company, or you're an IT company. Everybody's drilling boreholes. Painting primary school, giving scholarship to secondary school. No. That is good, but that's not standards of NOTAP. We change it to be corporate social investment. If you are there, we should also look at technology, so that in the future the same environment will now come and empower your own operation. So this is, we do this very, very quickly. I will not go through this, all that I have done that. And then the registration, when we fully make the decision, we let you know. I am now trying to push the performance of the agency to make sure that you will know yes or no in 48 hours. So that business is business. You know, if you see your agreement sinking in NOTAP for more than 48 hours, since I've been there, the problem is you. Yeah, I can leave my chest anytime on that. But anyway, when it is satisfied, we then do everything. Sometimes we reject, but you can appeal. Sometimes we can slash the money and say, no, you cannot take this much amount. And I can tell you, in the last 10 years alone, we have saved this country over 350 billion naira, money that was supplied to Nigeria, because the agreements were unfair. But you can complain, because you know, we've done it. Some people will have, I think last time there was a telecommunications company that came and said they want to use their company logo as a trademark. So they went and signed an agreement. Trademark is a sign of reputation that takes a product to the consumer so that he's constantly remembering it. So if you're not making anything in Nigeria, what's the point of signing the trademark? Coca-Cola, they're drinking. The toothpaste logos and so forth, Nestle Maggi, you're eating. So I can understand when I go to Nestle, I can see soybeans becoming Maggi. I can see maize becoming Golden Moon. So I can agree to Golden Moon as a brand. But don't bring MTN and say it's a brand. You're not making it. You will not get it. We quiet and quiet. And the guru of Akia took me to the Harvard, our country. Powerful people. Oh, this is not a deal with. Took me to the highest level. I went there. I opened book. As far as the law is concerned, if you are manufacturing something, you can get the benefit of the trademark and you can make money because it is IPR. Let them tell you what they're making. Then we were all quiet. And then they said, thank you very much for coming. Bye-bye. And I left. So these are some of the things that you can appeal and you can come to us. But we're very practical people. There are times when you have entered into an agreement And that agreement can smash you completely if it does not go through. But you have done the wrong thing. But because of our country, if I decide, I sign such a certificate, and I give you, the only explanation in this country is that you have given me money. You have incentivized me and have signed and you have gone. Therefore you must come. We will debate about it. We will quarrel. You will write undertakings and we will put it in the file. Wake me up at 2 o'clock at night and say, why did you decide to give so certificate? Because if the next person comes tomorrow, I will say no. And I will stand by it. And then I will open file. The reason why we do that is because if you say no, this company will sink. And that's not the idea of establishing NOTAP. Also, it will damage our foreign direct investment index internationally because certain companies will blacklist you in different ways, and therefore we consider that, and therefore we document that. So appeals are there. And then we have post-registration. So even after registration, and you say we are training, we are doing research and development, we are working with local vendors, we have so many users and so on and so forth, we'll follow you to your office and confirm these things. We will follow you. If it is a 3-year agreement, we will follow you 6 times within that year. Every time you must give us a report. So it's not like you collect a certificate and it's goodbye. We will be there following, and so on and so forth. And then all the other things. So we look at all companies. I just put this from the oil companies, manufacturers, and all of them. We see them, including ICT, every sector. I see their agreements every time on my table like that. So, but our challenge is, I haven't started the presentation. I'll take 20 minutes. This is just an intro. So, because you said, what is the impact of NOTAP? And you know your complaint, is Nigeria making progress or not? So we have to touch that very, very issue. Now, NOTAP, when you visit NOTAP, you will not see a big building. The whole agency is just one room. And I don't have a big, my office is probably just the edge of that. It's very small. It is a knowledge agency, and knowledge you don't need space. Particularly, since now we don't put files and everything is digital. But although we are the technology acquisition agency in Nigeria, we are the ones to promote technology absorption, adoption, and usage in Nigeria. You will not find a workshop in NOTAP. You will not see a big library. You will not see a laboratory. Therefore, NOTAP can only succeed if there is partnership and synergy with the other people who are generating technology. That's the major challenge we have. How do you get people to be working together? In our country, we have sedimented and institutionalized working in silos. This is my area, don't come in. And you can see it. It's got nothing to do with security. All the gates you see with the dogs and everything, it's just because we want to be separate. Even if you open the gate like this, nobody will come and bomb you unnecessarily. But we lock it, and you know somebody look in a hole, who do you think you are? What? You know, all this has to crack for NOTAP to work very well. Otherwise, I'll tell you a funny story based on this. I went to a factory in Waterford. And that day we visited, it rained. So we couldn't come through the reception, the introduction, and so we have to go to the back where the products are coming up. Madam, should I stop? No. Just stop me whenever you want. So we went to where the products, the lorries are being loaded with the products. So we got in. So we were seeing the products before the assembly, before the manufacture of the components, up to the raw material, and then the reception. So as we were moving, you know, as an engine, you see cables, the raw materials everywhere, the light is not very good, welders are not wearing safety stuff and so on. So I was already fuming. And it's an Indian company. So I fume more. So I was waiting for us to get to the end so that I sit with them and I open fire. So we were moving, I was just shaking my head. When we got to the end of the reception, this same company, I saw that for the last 10 years, they have been getting Standard Organization of Nigeria award. So I just have to swallow my fire, because anything I say is not just against the company, but it's also fighting standard organization in Nigeria. Under normal circumstances, standard organization sees the same company. I see the same company. Inland Revenue sees the same company. Corporate Affairs is the same company. Immigration for workers is the same company. Why can't we work together? So that we share the same information. But no, we go separately and we're not efficient. That's a very serious problem. But anyway, so this is NOTAP and what we do. But you see, I also analyze, like she has done, go to the internet, go to conferences, check what is the performance of Nigeria and everything. And in researching to come and make this presentation, I got that statement at the top. It says the third world refers to those countries. Bangladesh and Nigeria are examples that are in severe straits with no clear path to a positive future. We've already said it here. A statement written by OECD. This is the bunch of highly developed countries in the world. So, you know, having survived for 31 years as NOTAP, struggling, checking and whatever, and you get this, and you know it's a summary of your performance. Under normal circumstances as a Nigerian, you want to kill the author. Because they said Bangladesh and Nigeria, they didn't just say third world. By Nigeria, if it was just third world, we will find a way of defining that we're actually at the top of the third world, we're nearly graduating to development, but they were very low. So I started saying, why? Why this arrogance? And when you do further studies, you will realize this. Out of the last 52 or 51 years after independence, NOTAP has been existing 32 years of those 50 years. When you study, and correct me if I'm wrong, you will find that in this country, we have celebrated after the 50 years independence experience, few or no global products. We have not given the world one single branded product from our knowledge. No wonder these people can abuse us like this. We have few or no global companies of our own. We have very few or no global know-how skills from our own knowledge infrastructure, and so on and so on. And this is a country that has so many things that other countries are even envying, but we can't celebrate. So they can say anything. And so I started to go deeper for the presentation so that we can discuss as NOTAP industry. I said, look, to me, the opportunities we have as a country, if we don't want to be abused, is that you see that we are a lot of people. And this is an index of development if you can develop it. If you develop your people, you improve the human development index, and so on and so forth, it becomes an opportunity for you. But we have it. We have the numbers. Yeah. We also have natural resources of all sorts of things. Again, if you are adding value, you are developing it, you can move forward. But the third and most important thing that we have is, I call it, we have seed money. This is our GDP of $300 billion that we are mopping from oil and gas. It's only seed money. We can use that if we are very wise to develop our people, develop our resources. I can tell you we have a potential economy of $1.3 trillion. But what do? We concentrate all our energy, all our intellect, just sharing the seed money. That's what we do. And therefore, we end up where? This is where we end up. Increasing population, natural resources still sitting there, undeveloped, poverty is increasing, our people is dominated by rural life. I didn't know what rural life in Nigeria is. It's a no-go area life. If you want your wife to go and deliver in the hospital, can you go to Nigeria rural area? You can't. If you want your children to go to good schools, this is a no-go area. This is where majority of our people are. Our physical infrastructure is weak, and so on and so on. So many things, because we fail to do the right. But this is where we want to be. Like the gentleman said, every government will come and say, we will be great, we will do this. What the summary is that we want to be a modern economy. We want to be a creative, making, changing, so that people are coming to buy our own, taking our expertise. We want to be a well-focused, productive nation, not this consuming mode. We want to be credible. We want Nigerians to be respected, and you can trust. Nigeria. You want us, when you enter, they will say, yes, Baba Nigeria has entered. We want to be competitive so that our own branded products will compete with these Chinese things. Don't waste your time saying China is taking over your market. It's your weakness. China is just laughing all the way to the bank. They even sell you things that don't work. You don't even have the competence to read what does not work. It's only when you reach home, you switch the TV, the thing does not work, you abuse the Chinese, but you throw it, you go and buy another one from Korea. So we want to be a dynamic population so that as people are graduating, they are getting jobs and high level, high wage, and so on and so forth. Literally, we want the desire is that we want to be also a viable knowledge economy based on know-how and knowledge. Should we stop? No. You want us to stop? Just stop me because I shall continue. Now, I can tell you, most of my life I have been working in this area, studying this area. There is no way you can attain all this if your science, technology, and innovation system is not vibrant. This is the master key. You must be breathing science at the highest level. The science must be transformed into technology, producing intellectual property, and the technology must graduate to innovation, products, processes, services, and so on and so forth. There is no cutting corners. We try. Like he said, everybody comes with a different product. Is that we think we can cut corners. It's not possible. And this science, technology, and innovation, what is it? Simply, it is about having a strategic technology acquisition. You must know what you want now that can help you to go to the next level. Nigeria is an oil and gas country. 90% of our cash comes from oil and gas. You cannot believe it. Nigeria does not have one single research institute in oil and gas. If you have been hearing of Petroleum Technology Institute in Engr, it's not. Not one. So how on earth you can do your subsidy strike, kill half of Nigeria? It's not going to change. Until we have a strategy to say that, look, we will have this whereby you have 5,000 PhDs crunching numbers about oil and gas. We too will know how to collect our gas. We know how to refine our product. That is the strategy. Second, to do that, you must have a very sound technical education. If your technical education system is not sound, you will not evolve an STI that is viable. You must have excellent technological research and development, qualified laboratories and workshops with up-to-date equipment, digitized, crunching numbers. Without that, it's not going to happen. Viable technology transfer strategy. Even when we don't have, you want to go and take Finacle from Infosys to come and apply it in your bank. You must have a strategy that one day you will have Finacle 2 that is your own. But the Indians came here, all of them using Finacle, and they studied Nigerian shortages, upgraded the Finacle with your data. You don't even know when they have done that. And then the Finacle version 2 will come. You pay more. They study your data, upgrade it again, bring and tell you that, oh, there's a new version that can do village environment vacuum. And then you say, you pay more. That has to happen. And then we have to be also very, very innovative. We must also be able to drive all this to products that can create wealth, that can create employment, not just Okada employment, high-wage employment. Technology people, you can arrogantly be able to say, I will graduate from university and I will be paid in the first 2 years of my graduation $1 million a year. Technological arrogance. We must be there. Then we should be assessing our system gradually. You have done that this year, you assess it, you move to the next year, and so on and so forth. So, and I just said, even if you have that system, you must be generating intellectual property. That is the secret. And I'll just jump over this. So even if you have the technology, you have that intellectual property, you must understand where it is, what is the process to move it where it's needed, and then feed it back. This circle is the most important. It's a skill. You can't teach it in the university. You must know that Ahmadu Bello University Zaria have got for more fortification technology. Because it is a government university does not mean that you just move and say, give me. It doesn't work like that. Because you don't go to Finnacles, Infosys, and say, give me Finnacle. Do you? You say, I have $1 million. Is there any Finnacle? They say, look around, and they say, no, put $2 million. You say, okay, 1.5. They say, okay, you have it. There's always a process. Okay? And for those countries where the technology generation and the industry where the technology is needed are all in the same place, they are the ones that are industrialized. You go to the United States, the work in MIT, the work in all years and so on and so forth, is the same intellect and capacity that is powering industry. Go to the UK, you go to Guildford, it's the same knowledge that goes to the Surrey Research Park and that is powering industry. But where you have the academia facing a different direction and industry facing a different direction, you are not that you are not generating technology, but they are just not related to the industry that requires it. This is a characteristic of developing world. That is where we are. And I will show you that because that is not working, and a lot of people don't understand it, we are constantly in technology transfer deals. When you hear bilateral, it's all technology transfer, there's no bilateral. If you are not discussing how to improve the standards of living between your two countries. But the other country you are signing with, in most cases for Nigeria, is more energetic than you. It is technology. Multilateral, memorandum of understanding, public-private partnership, grants and loans, privatization and commercialization, foreign direct investment. All these are techniques for transferring technology. Unless you have a strategy, you will be signing millions of these and you will not see technology. And I'll take one to show you. Foreign direct investment, which most of you are more conversant with. You see, foreign direct investor will look at the opportunities in your country, your population, and your population is not just idle. They like consuming. It's not just consuming. Nigerian population has taste. If the shoes are not Italian, they will not wear it. You know, so they have a brand in their head, and we have resources. That's our $300 billion that we're sharing. People are looking at it. We are scattering, like one Indian man told me. He said, Dr. Bindir, there is money everywhere on your streets in Nigeria. All you need is a basket and a broom, but you need special glasses to see the dollars. That's what he said. So he has come with his glasses, and this is the glasses. So when they see this opportunity, then because foreign direct investment has a trick, they now start giving you the feeling that they're doing you a favor. They say, well, for us to come and do this, you need to give us waivers. You need to give us tax holiday. Give us the best places where your infrastructure is fantastic. You know, you have human capital challenges, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. They give you conditions. And if you're not tactful, you are signing all your best to companies, and local companies cannot even get that. If you start as an entrepreneur, you will not get that prime spot in the middle of the city to establish a school. But a Turkish will come and get that because they say, oh, no, we can do this, and you are just rushing. And what they are offering basically are three mainly. Foreign direct investor has seed capital. He will tell you, since you don't have money, I have dollar. You open the door and you say, okay, come with your bag of money. Say, no, that's not all I have. I have technology to process your oil and gas, to do this, this, and that. You then open the door fully. And they say, no, that's not all. I also have mental management. You remove the wall completely. You say, just come in. And that is why some of you in industry, as you are struggling to operate, you just see that you are struggling. And then you see a Chinese man having an issue. You tend to wonder, how come? You see a Chinese, the Indian man who is your friend, was with you, you had already struggled for 10 years. He came and met you. And after 3 years, he's flying, and you are still struggling. How? This is the game. Because this is in your eyes as the best thing that has happened to you. And then, these are some of the attractions that make them to come. When you see Kentucky Fried Chicken investing in your country, if you see Nestle as the #1 multinational company in food processing operating in your country, if you see a Freestyle Campina, #1 dairy cooperative company operating in your country. If you see Chevron and so on, these people must have seen something. You are killing each other, you are fighting, you are doing all this. Still, you see them establishing new facilities. There is something that you have not seen. That should be able to tell you that we must be strong, so let us also fight. No, 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 no. We give them more incentives. We think the trouble we are doing, or they will run away. I get that in NOTAP. No, if you don't sign this agreement, we are going to close the factory and that. I say go and close it. I change them up. In fact, any company that says there is a mistake in NOTAP in front of me. But therefore, we just pack and go and say, you are going out of my office first. Out! I will throw them out. Nobody will leave this economy. Even if you go every day, you are beating the management at least 3 times a day. They will not go anywhere. So, now, then, but you have to ask yourself, as a country, what do I get? Under normal circumstances, you should have said, if you bring your money, we have the expertise, our wealth creation program are smart, we will work together and make more money so that you get 50% and I get 50%. That's supposed to be our wealth creation policy. Then technology domestication. Bring your technology. We have got the critical mass of highly skilled manpower that can just listen to you and absorb it. That's what the Chinese are doing. That's what the Indians are doing. But if your secondary schools are not good, if your polytechnics are not good, if your universities are terrible, you don't have these magnets. That is supposed to be the strategy, and so on and so forth. So there has to always be an agenda. So I will very quickly go through a typical policy, like we say, to see now, are we repeating things or are we going forward? And I like the transformation agenda because I am a government person, but normally when I speak, either publicly like this or TV or radio, they say I'm a radical. But I don't abuse government. I have a policy of bite and blow. So you bite until you reach a point whereby you think that you will be locked up. Don't just continue biting. Stop at some point and blow what you have bitten to cool down. Otherwise, you will not survive. So let us look at this. You see, Vision 2020 clearly, as all of us know, is that Nigeria wants to join the top 20 economies come year 2020, which is in the next 7 to 8 years. Okay? These 20 economies is not a secret. We know where they are. We know that America, Europe, and so on. Where you see the red clusters, this is where the top 20 economies are. By any ranking, put the cluster of ranking, but it's a GDP issue, this particular one. So, if we want to join, we know the list. And you know, we also know what they are doing. And I'll go through this very, very quickly. In those countries, you find that their science, technology, and innovation policies is central to their development. And that they don't do policies what I call in pipes. All policies converge to a point so that the country move forward. In our country, Ministry of Education does the education policy without consulting the Science and Technology Ministry. Industry has an industrial policy without consulting the education people. Then you have health. We have its own health policy. Without consulting education, where will you get the doctors? We are doing policies in straight pipes, they will never ever meet.
That's what we call the not lose joint of thinking.
Thank you. So, if we want to join the top 20, we must do this. If we don't understand that, it is not going to happen. Secondly, you will find that their science, technology, and innovation systems, the academia, the knowledge system is very vibrant. Go to the universities, even if you have your iPad here, Google top 200 universities in the world. By ranking of Times Higher Education is the best ranking. You will find that all those top 200 universities are in those top 20 economies. They are very good, they are doing research, they are attracting millions of dollars into their school, their professors are well known, they are patenting, they are whatever. All these are the indices. In fact, before you see an African university, you have to hit number 320, which is University of Cape Town in South Africa. Now, just start imagine, even with a university at 320, see what South Africa is doing in Nigeria. This tells you of the quality of ranking. But what is a world rank university? It is about a beautiful university. You go in, you feel relaxed. It's green, glass, and so on. Even the teaching is different. It's not like our own where you get a character standing in front with 2,000 students and he claims that he's connecting with everyone. No, here you will not even know who is the lecturer. This is what makes it. The ranking also tells you. As I said before, in those countries you have systems of innovation. Institutions come together to be stronger. We are not good at that. They also have a very high investment in research and development. Some countries, their own research and development investment is 300 times bigger than the total GDP of Nigeria. Our own, we don't even know how much we're investing because it's so small. Our raw material endowment, we must add value because in those countries, if they have raw material, they add value. That is where the science is. That is where the research is. That is where the jobs are. That is how you get innovative products. Our own, we are masters of take the crude raw material out and then bring in refined products. If we have cotton, we are importing cloth. We have oil and gas, we are importing refined. And then something happens, we complain. Why are we paying for this? We haven't got a clue why we are complaining to inquire this. Because we have not understood it. We have to prioritize technology acquisition focus. If oil and gas is our sector, we must empower that. By now, Nigeria should have been the country providing anybody who discovers oil with knowledge. But we didn't do that. We also must have a technology acquisition mentor. In most of those countries, you'll find that the mentor for moving technology forward is actually the Prime Minister or the President. Go and check on history. Malaysia is Dr. Mahathir. China is the same. Singapore is the same. The United States, go back to the Kennedys and so on and so forth. You will find that the President himself will say that this will change. And science, technology, innovation will drive it. And so on and so forth. I don't want to go through all. So, in order that you will see the commitments of that. And past this, so let us look at our country very briefly. We have a very good landscape. We have 122 universities in this country, the highest in any country in Africa. We have 98 colleges of education. We have over 120 polytechnics. All these are everywhere. We have world-class industries scattered everywhere. Go to Ambara and you see the cluster. And if you think these are not working, it's not true. Look, if it is publishing, which is a product of science, you study, you write a paper. See the bar of Nigeria. We are publishing like crazy, but you know why? Because our universities, if you don't publish, you don't get promoted. The Nigerian likes incentives. This is a lesson for us. Even the academia is saying, you will not become professor if you publish. I am telling you, he will turn himself into a paper publishing industry. Because he wants that professor. But if you don't have the incentive, it is not going to happen. So we are doing science. Look at only South Africa, we have nearly 4,000, we have nearly 9,000 papers. But the rest of the sub-Saharan Africa, we will dwarf them. So to a certain extent, we can say, yes, we have science. In technology, we are the only African country that have actually delved our hands into space technology at the level level. We even trained engineers who designed and manufactured a satellite that has been launched. And we're getting pictures from that. This was the Ibadan flight. This picture was taken from our own satellite. We have technology at the highest level. We are doing biotechnology. With biotechnology, tissue culture alone, which is a tiny component of biotechnology, their own experimental plot of biotechnology tomatoes. In a space of this room, you can provide tomato for the whole of this community. We have that knowledge. We also are in the middle. We have several machines that we have made. This is just an example from one of our institutes. They have done this, they are manufacturing these blocks from our raw materials, and you can build rural housing or even fantastic housing very, very easily. We have. We are also very innovative. We are making things that are adaptable. We are manufacturing computers in this country. You know. Xerox is not a joke. All materials think it's not go there. You may underrate them, but they are making it. Similar to many companies. We're making science equipment. All the glasswork of the burette, the pipette, the beaker, the measuring cylinder in Engr here. We have an institute making this. The whole thing, they cut it, they blow it, everything. We know it. We even venture into renewable energy. We have grown jatropha, we have extracted the oil, it's non-edible oil, we have processed it chemically, and we have produced biodiesel, and we have tested it on diesel engines and generators, and it's working. We have that science. Reverse engineering, we also know how to copy. There's one of our institutes in Engr that have reverse engineered a whole engine, 100% from the cylinder, connecting your top, some, bottom, everything. They made it, machined it, put it together, cranked it, and it's working. We have that. And I was director of sports. When I moved to science and technology, I challenged them to make this substitution thing. They made it in 1 week. You get it? In technology transfer, again in Engr, I visited this factory. This man is actually manufacturing buses. He gets the knockdown components from China, he is rigging and welding, and he is producing this. Most of the palliative buses are actually bought from him. Yeah. If you come to the low level of technology, football, Nigeria is the only country that can manufacture football. If you think it's not complete, you see these people, we reverse engineer. This material, you have to cut it, you have to sew it by hand. Start imagining how do you close it. That's the technology. We have that in Zaria. And in commercialization, if you think we don't know, we have patented a sickle cell anemia science in the United States. Here, you see, it's United States patent in 1998. These are Nigerians.